I need to speak to a couple of issues that continually are raised, and we are no less a senator and we are no less a Christian when we leave this floor today, no matter how we vote on this bill. There's three institutions created. Basically, marriage, government, and church. Those are the three institutions that we answer to in Scripture. Specifically, though, government's role is to protect good and punish evil. It's to provide a basis for social stability. It's social order, so that we as a nation can have a viable, vibrant place to discuss gospel and other religions for that matter in this country. So to argue that it's government's role to fill the role that y'all would indicate is need to be met, it was really individuals that feel that need in those relationships and stuff. But so my faith has been attacked. The names that you can not mention to your mom for the last 2 weeks, and I understand in the passion. I don't disrespect anybody less or more. It's just the passion of the issue and the emotion of it. I don't discount that, but we have to have a government that is based on fundamental foundation truths that are not contingent upon the king of the day. Judges are very clear. When the people asked for a king, he said, "You won't like this." And if you want to get to the heart of what this bill's about, is allowing kings to be made on local jurisdictions to pick and choose how they're going to apply our civil law. That's SB 4 in a nutshell. We have to have a standard that's not contingent or dependent upon an individual. So with that said, I respect what's been said today, and I do believe that what I heard is truth. I do have a heart for those that are afraid today, that feel like this bill may jeopardize their being in this state. First of all, as a country and as a state, we provide free education to anybody that's inside this border. First of all, we provide medical care on demand to anybody that's inside this border, whether they be legal, undocumented, or not. That's not going to change once SB 4 is passed. That's going to be the same today and tomorrow, and rightfully so. There's nobody on this that would ever want to deny an individual for opportunity or refuge or safety or any of those other things. The truth is, though, we have green cards, we have visas, we have work permits, we have work programs, and heaven forbid, we have a citizenship process. Those that are underneath that fear has chose not to engage our system at some level. And I would encourage my faith-based communities and my immigration attorneys that I have ultimate respect for to invest their time in getting those people into that process rather than investing time in fear-mongering and projecting messages that won't come to fruition unless that message continues to perpetuate. So I am committed, Senator Whitmire, to making sure to the best of my abilities that education and that messaging change. But I cannot do it as a Republican alone, so to speak, because I'm not naive to say there's not a partisanship part of this process. But as you say, elections matter. My majority of citizens, immigrants or non, illegal or undocumented, all want a system of law that is applied blindly and without prejudice for all involved. We don't get to determine what the federal law is, and I would work hand in hand with anybody and everybody on this floor to go to D.C. and say enough of this nonsense. It's time to come to reality and deal with the issues of the day. I have ideas. Probably be surprising, some of my ideas on how to do that, but I am there with you. But until those days change, we cannot have individual jurisdictions picking and choosing how our laws are applied, or we end up with independent kings throughout this state that we cannot have any sense of justice, predictability, or law enforcement integrity. The integrity of the system is only as good as the people we elect to be involved in that process. And if we elect people that don't have the integrity with what they say they're going to do is apply the law, then the system collapses on its own. So with that, members, SB 4 very simply provides victim of crime exemption, hospital exemptions, schools exemptions, witnesses of crime exemptions. All SB 4 says is whatever the law of the day at the federal level, apply it. When we have those individuals that, here's the problem. The way I understand it, they could pretty much unilaterally say, we're not going to do any detainers and be in compliance with the law at some level. But when it's picking and choosing what part of those detainer processes you choose, you create a de facto state immigration system. So if you really want to know the truth, those people that are doing it are probably out of compliance with federal law because they've created a state immigration system because they've said, we'll do this one, but we won't do that one. And they've prohibited what's already allowed today. SB 4 didn't create new federal law. So with that, members, I respectfully close. I too, Senator Whitmire, hope that we never come to this floor that we feel like we cannot discuss the tough issues of the day in a respectful manner. And I appreciate everyone that's been on this floor the last 2 days because it reflects character, and we should always feel like we can handle the tough discussions. But you cannot question, or I would hope that you would not question anybody that votes for this bill's motive other than it's a rule of law. We have to have civil society. It has to be based on people that are committed to doing what they're elected to do, and that's upholding the standard and the rule of law. With that, Mr. President, I close.